video. Brandon Rios, Brandon Bam Bam Rios versus Danny Swift Garcia, February 17th, Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, this is a good fight in my opinion, especially for these two guys, you know what I mean? The man Brandon Rios had a long layover. After he lost, he got bodied by the man Tim Hardaway. I said Tim Hardaway, excuse me, Tim Bradley. You check it. And then he came back and fought somebody on PBC. I don't even recall who the guy was. I ain't gonna lie. You check it. So the man did take a while before he came back to boxing. You know what I mean? And Danny Garcia, I haven't seen Danny Garcia fight since what's this called? Since he fought Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? In his first title defense of that WBC strap, that vacant WBC strap, he won versus Robert the Ghost Guerrero. He fought one little tune-up fight with the Samuel Vargas kid. Yo, I see Charlie Brown in the chat. What go on, Charlie Brown? What the deal, son? Charles Jackson, what go on, Star? Morning, Kings. That's what Charles Jackson says. What's happening, fellas? Yeah, man, just here, man, reporting live. It's morning for y'all fellas, man. Where I'm at right now, it's 2:36. I'm about to have a late lunch, you heard? Yeah, man, but that's what's up, Charles Jackson. I'm glad you're doing well, man. Give thanks. You know what I mean? But as of right now, the fight is supposedly a 10-rounder. You know what I'm saying? But it might be elevated to a 12-rounder by the time that fight comes around. And I'm not mad at that fight. You know what I mean? Truth be told, I even heard that there's gonna be the rematch of that super middleweight title between what's the guy's name? Ronald Gavril, the guy with TMT, the guy from Romania, Lucian Bute country, going to be facing David Benavidez, you know what I mean? And, that fight deservedly needs a rematch, you know what I mean? The champion, David Benavidez, got dropped. Ronald Gavril put out a great effort for a guy who everybody wrote off, you know what I mean? We haven't seen nobody give David Benavidez that kind of work as a professional. So I think that fight definitely deserves a rematch. But back to Brandon Rios, Brandon Rios is a guy who's, he's fought a lot of people, man. I think the man's like 3-3 in his last 6 fights, you know what I mean? He's lost to fellas like, out of those 3 losses, it's been to Tim Hardaway. Why I keep calling him Tim Hardaway? Tim Bradley. Maybe because Tim Bradley got a bald head just like Tim Hardaway. You know what I mean? But he's lost to Tim Bradley. He's lost to Manny Pacquiao. And, of course, he lost his world title to, what's the guy's name? Mike Alvarado. Mike Mile Alvarado. And speaking of Mike Mile Alvarado, I heard that Manny Pacquiao might be facing him in Manny Pacquiao's comeback. Am I mad at that fight? It's not the guy we want to see, let's be honest, man. I don't care if the man Mike Alvarado's on his comeback trail. He had a spectacular knockout on that Mayweather undercard. Was it Mayweather undercard? No, excuse me, Pacquiao undercard, if I'm not mistaken. It was on a big undercard, and he had a vicious knockout, you know what I mean? Yes, exactly. No. I take that back. It was on Julius Ndongo versus Terrence Crawford, you know what I mean? So like I said, Mike Mile High Alvarado from Colorado, he been on a comeback trail, but I'd rather him face somebody else, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. And I've also heard that, Nonito Donaire and Carl Frampton gonna be facing off April out there in Belfast in Ireland, you know what I mean? Hey man, that's a 50-50 fight right now. Both guys are on the slide in my opinion. You know what I mean? Their skills are eroding right in front of our eyes. The man Carl Frampton, I had a draw in his last fight versus that Mexican kid. Some people had Frampton losing, and I'm not mad at you. One thing for sure, 2 things for certain. That man did not win that fight. You know what I mean? A draw or a loss is applicable. You know what I mean? That's what he should get. But Danny Garcia, Danny Garcia, man, he ain't really do much at welterweight. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? He fought Paulie Malignaggi. He fought the Ghost Guerrero in a close fight. You know what I'm saying? And he fought the Samuel Vargas tune-up kid. And then he fought Keith Thurman, and he lost that fight. A close fight as well, you know what I mean? It wasn't no whitewash. You check it. So I believe that the man Danny Garcia should be on his comeback trail. He said, man, he took off a long layover, a long layoff, to let his body heal. You know what I mean? The man been putting in work from the junior welterweight, where he was the king at junior welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Not undisputed like Bud. Let's not get that twisted. You know what I mean? But I will agree that Danny Garcia did beat better names at junior welterweight than the man Terrence Crawford. Another fight I heard on the horizon that might be in the works is Jesse Vargas versus Keith One Time Thurman, and that's a fight I like actually. Out of all these fights that I mentioned, from Donaire and Frampton and Brandon Bam Bam Rios versus Danny Garcia, I like that Jesse Vargas versus Keith Thurman. That's definitely not a tune-up. If Keith Thurman ain't been in the ring as well ever since that fight with Danny Garcia, and if that's his first comeback fight, that's not a tune-up. That's a legitimate fight. Jesse Vargas, he's not a world beater in my opinion, but he's a world-class fighter. He should have more losses on his resume than he already has, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Charlie Brown Boxing says, Rios has been on a slide. No doubt he been on a slide. You seen him get bodied by Tim Bradley, and then he came back after a 19-month layoff, and he had a little tune-up fight with some guy on PBC. I can't remember the dude's name, I would have really, what a fight I would have liked to see rather than Danny Swift versus Brandon Rios versus Victor Ortiz. But we already know Victor Ortiz is a guy who he's a diva, you know what I mean? Let him tell it. He's going to say, I'm a movie star, so I deserve to be the A-side, you know what I mean? Charlie Brown says Garcia needs this tune-up. Yeah, definitely. He definitely needs this tune-up, you know what I mean? You check it, but I like this fight right now for Danny Garcia. Just a little tune-up fight. Get his feet wet again at welterweight. This is a guy who, in Brandon Bam Bam Rios, who came down from the lightweight division, 135. So it's not going to be no size discrepancy. You know what I mean? Both guys have moved up from lower weights. Charles Jackson asks in the chat, who is the fighter of the year? Who is the fighter of the year? I got Bud, son. Same as you. Hey, Charles Jackson says, same way. I got Bud. I got Terrence Bud Crawford. Truth be told, man, I ain't going to lie, man. Last 3 years, 2016 and 2015, I've probably had Bud Crawford as my fighter of the year. You check it. I mean, the guy's just phenomenal, man. He's doing what he has to do in boxing. He's doing what other boxers need to be doing. Unifying, beating up their mandatories, taking up all challengers, not making excuses. Regardless who's put in front of him, the man is Terrence Crawford is ready to wheel and deal and post up like Shaquille O'Neal and give these fellas work, you know what I mean? And that's what we want from these fighters, I gave a criteria what I'd like fighters to do, you know what I mean? 3 fights a year, you know what I'm saying? Mandatory, voluntary, and a unification if you're a champion. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, then your career will only go in the trajectory will only go upwards, you know what I mean? And your stock will not fall off, you know what I'm saying? But these fighters these days, man, they just want to babysit belts and just want to fight easy fights. Look at Kovalev. Who's Kovalev fighting? On the same night in March, there's gonna be fights on Showtime in New York City. Same way, Showtime and HBO gonna have cards in the Barclays Center. Showtime and HBO's gonna have MSG. But Kovalev's fighting a nobody. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to the Dimitri Bivol and Sullivan Barrera. That's a good fight, you know what I mean? Good 50-50 fight right now. You know what I'm saying? Bivol, the Eastern, these guys are standout amateurs, you know what I mean? Or at least they in history, the Russians and the Cubans always have standout amateurs, And we'll see what these two guys do in the pros, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm probably about to seal up this video. Just had to let it be known. Brandon Bam Bam Rios will be back. And so will DSG, Danny Swift Garcia from North Philadelphia, and I can't wait to see Danny Swift. I was always a guy who I never hated on Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? A lot of people said he's a cherry picker guy. Yeah, man. Give thanks, Charlie Brown, man. I'm about to enjoy my lunch in a sec. You already know, man. I could hear it warming up. That's why I'm about to seal this video up. But Danny Swift. Yeah, Charlie Brown. Them mangoes gonna ripen in January. Probably by the second, third week of January. That's mango season out here. You know what I mean? Yeah, Charles Jackson. Give thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate you, dogs. But like I was saying about Danny Swift, yeah, I've had him have losses on on his resume, like the Mauricio Herrera fight out there. Excuse me, out there in Puerto Rico, and of course to my guy from DC from the Headbangers gym, Lamar Peterson. I had him losing them fights, but the point is he did take these fights, and he had fought a lot of tough opposition at 140. You know what I mean? You seen what he did to Matisse. A lot of people didn't give him a shot. A lot of people didn't give him a shot to beat Amir Khan, Matisse, Zab Judah, even Morales. You know what I mean? Even fellas like Nate Campbell. You know what I'm saying? So the man worked his way up. He's not the most talented fighter as far as flashy, flamboyant, and overall skills, but Danny Swift Garcia is a guy who, in my opinion, deserves to be where he's at in boxing. And he's a guy I know who's not going to become broke at the end of his career, because the guy has invested in some businesses, especially in North Philadelphia. You know what I mean? So be Marsh Boxing, y'all. I'm about to seal up this video one time. Thanks for listening. I'm going to catch y'all on the next vid. Peace. Bless up, Charlie Brown. Bless up, Charles Jackson. I'm out.